On the news tonight, NNPC says no imminent increase in the price of petrol. Vaughan and Nan said to collaborate on renewed hope agenda. Good evening and welcome to NTA Ijebu ode News at 7. It's nice to see you again. My name is Olawumi Adeniji and here are the details. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, is assuring the public that there is no imminent increase in the cost of premium motor spirit, PMS, commonly known as petrol. NNPC Limited urged Nigerians to disregard what it calls unfounded rumors and assures that there are no plans for an upward review of the petrol price. As stated by Olufemi Shoneye, Chief Corporate Communication Officer, NNPC Limited, advised motorists nationwide against engaging in panic buying, reiterating that there is presently ample availability of PMS across the country. President Tinubu's address to Nigerians on the first day of the year has been described as a reassurance of hope in the realization of the renewed hope agenda of the present administration. Amaka will sow the views of some Nigerians on this in our report.
As President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his New Year broadcast address to the nation, promised to achieve the governed objective through the 2024 budget. Some Nigerians have reacted to the address, stating that it is a rededication of the president's commitment towards tackling challenges facing the nation.
We expect that the renewed hope will not just be a mantra. It will not just be a slogan that we shout on the streets or at the top of our voices because we are party members. No, it has to concretize into substantial achievements that are measurable, and we can look back in another year or two and say, thank God that we voted this man to become our president. So I have hope.
The government is promising that there will be a new minimum wage. We hope that is done. And then in terms of the promise also on security, that is very, very important. We realized what happened not too long ago. I mean, we're still battling with the plateau killings, and definitely we're started hearing about killings in Taraba as well. That government has to deal with that. Government also has to deal with the improvement in power supply as it promised. So that Nigerian businesses, Nigerian economy can be revived.
The messages were delivered and the content of the message is really reassuring, especially in terms of the policies and programs geared towards improving the well-being of Nigerians and at the same time ensuring that Nigeria become part of the leading economies in the world.
Assurances were also made by the president in providing equal opportunity and participation towards a buoyant economy and a secured nation for all. In Lagos, Samaka O, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has appealed to workers to remain committed to productivity and efficiency in the year 2024. Promising to redouble efforts to take Osun to enviable heights. Adeleke made the appeal during the 2024 inter-religious prayer held at the governor's office in Osogbo. Femi Afariogun has more.
It is the beginning of another year. Workers, religious leaders, and traditional rulers are here to commit the year into God's hands. Various religious leaders led prayers for more development and progress of Osun State. Governor Ademola Adeleke said his government succeeded through God's grace in the year 2023, despite challenges posed to him by his oppositions.
We have grand ambition to take Osun to greater heights. I trust that with God and people, we shall achieve our lofty goals and an agenda.
The Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdulrasheed Akobi, who commended the various developmental projects of the governor, assured him of continued support from traditional rulers.
The driver of the state, who is the governor that God should guide him and give him the wisdom to be more successful in his office.
I want to advise everybody in Osun State that we should work hand in hand with the governor to make Osun State a paradise on earth.
Workers expressed confidence in Governor Adeleke, saying,
The month of January is often characterized by the myth of being a harsh month financially. But some residents say with adequate planning, people's perception about the month can be changed. Larry Belayi interacted with some of them in this report.
It is the first month of the year, which many believe is often the longest and the harshest. January is always considered a difficult month, since it comes immediately after December, which is characterized by merriment and spending. These respondents believe that another reason January is often demanding for Nigerians, especially financially, is because it comes with many demands, which include payment of rent, school fees, buying of foodstuff for the month, and other pressing needs. For them, planning for the month of January should be made a culture.
No month is higher than each other. It depends on the individuals, how they plan their lives. Because you know that January will come. I don't do anything special for Christmas. Normally to eat, feed, include my family as usual. And January, I believe I continue with my struggle. I'm a businessman.
It's a difficult month. You know, all they say, we've spent a lot by December. In January, the little ones you have, you will manage it.
During this festive mood, some people forgotten that it will end highest in a week or a month. So they just spend anyhow. So I've learned a lot. I prepare myself for this January.
They advised Nigerians to stop setting goals that will demand heavy spending during the festive season and live within their means. In Lagos, Larry Belayi, NTA News.
2023 was an eventful year. It was a combination of the good and the bad, from the cash crunch to elections court cases, to challenges of elections results, to the Students' Loan Act, just to mention a few. In fact, each sector has stories to tell. In this report, Engineer John Adams takes a look at major activities in the year and how they shaped the country.
At the start of the year 2023, Nigerians were full of high expectations that it will birth great opportunities, especially being an election year. With days turning to months, events began to unfold. The nation witnessed a period of cash crunch as a fallout from the Naira redesign policy. This did not sit well with many, as they had to go through hardships to initiate transactions. Nigerians breathed a sigh of relief when the Supreme Court ruled that the old and new Naira notes will coexist as legal tender till further notice. A new administration came into power in May with the renewed hope agenda. The president, during his inaugural speech, announced the removal of fuel subsidy and palliatives to cushion the effects. This came as a shock to many Nigerians, but analysts say was a vital step towards economic recovery.
Our largest expense in terms of recurrent expenditure is subsidy payments, and what suffers are basic infrastructure, primary health care, education. I see those as avenues where these funds can actually be properly deployed to.
As expected, appointment of cabinet members were made, as well as creation of new ministries like marine and blue economy, tourism, gas resources, among others. President Bola Tinubu, shortly after assumption of office, signed the student loan bill into law.
The time limit we have to raise our school fees most time, it's limited. So going for a student loan is actually, I welcome that idea.
Another major event in the year 2023 was 2024 budget proposal presentation of 27.5 trillion naira to the National Assembly by President Tinubu, which was his first budget proposal since assumption of office.
Things should be better. especially these petrol prices.
Once the fuel price is being reduced, at least to relieve people little.
As the year progresses, these respondents say they believe in a better Nigeria. In Lagos, Hinginu, John Adams, NTA News.
We are going on a short break now. We'll be right back. To stay tuned.
NTA Ijebu ode. NTA Achowe salute o. NTA Ijebu ode. NTA na baba. NTA Ijebu ode, your heritage station.
You welcome back. The news continues. In a bid to ensure effective, efficient, as well as strategic dissemination of information on the achievements of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, the Voice of Nigeria and News Agency of Nigeria are set to collaborate with each other. This came to the fore when the Director General of Voice of Nigeria, Jubril Ndachi, in the company of the organization's management team, paid a courtesy call on the Managing Director of the News Agency of Nigeria, Ali Muhammad Ali, in his office in Abuja. The two chief executives equally pledged their resolve to work together in countering the narratives of fake news and misinformation through a well-cut-out approach that will deepen accurate, authentic, and truthful reportage on happenings in Nigeria.
This administration, President Bola Tinubu, the renewed hope agenda. We are lucky the Minister of Information too, and the National Orientation is also a media person who understands the importance of strategic communication and the need for us to consistently and continuously push positive narrative about our country to the world. And we have a responsibility to consistently do that.
We are determined in none to change the depressing narrative of the cup being half empty. We see that half full. So a new partnership, we welcome them. We have no alternative actually than to collaborate, to partner, so that we change this perception about Nigeria. We take the good news.
First official meeting between the two chief executive officers since their appointments by President Bola Tinubu on the 19th of October 2023. For the renewed hope agenda of the present administration to be achieved, political office holders must leave the legacies of excellent service delivery. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, emphasizes this at the inauguration of a 484-bed Femi Gbajabiamila Hall of Residence in the University of Lagos. Joy Popola has more.
For the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, the University of Lagos was where his leadership prowess was developed, and prioritizing the institution in its legacy project is his way of giving back to the school. The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, described the feat as timely. The inauguration of the 484-bed Femi Gbajabiamila Hall of Residence by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, will address the challenge of hostel deficit in the university.
The Tinubu-led government and the House of Representatives have prioritized resource allocation to education. Investing in quality education at all levels, from primary to tertiary institutions, is fundamental.
I urge the audience to, through our joint efforts, raise a generation in whose hearts the light of understanding is lit and cannot be put out, who possess both the zeal and the passion for defeating the tyranny of low expectations and making good the life of man here on earth. Part of that joint effort is ensuring that we provide a conducive environment for learning and collaboration.
In furtherance of the Chief of Staff to the President's passion for education, Surulere now has a campus of the National Open University of Nigeria.
Come in, study, and go back to continue with the normal business. And also, we want to call on the general public to please utilize the facilities that are being provided.
The campus is well equipped with ICT facilities and other gadgets to aid learning. the reconstructed Randall Avenue, and the refurbished Bode Thomas Police Station, all in Surulere Federal Constituency, Femi Gbajabiamila says is to motivate the police to combat crime. The Femi Gbajabiamila Mini Stadium in Koka Aguda, many in the community believe will promote peaceful coexistence and channel the energy and talents of the youth towards productive ventures. In Lagos, Joel Pukbola, NTA News.
Peace is generally considered as the ability to handle conflicts by peaceful means. Security experts say to mainstream this at the community level required orientation, inclusiveness in decision-making, and purposeful leadership. Ekimini Williams completes the report.
The string of attacks on various communities around the country has been the subject of intense public debates, with concerns for the structure and organization of security in the country. Security experts on the program note that Taraba, Kaduna, and Plateau states have been most affected of recent and believe that this is due to the erosion of the value system in the traditional society, displacement from ancestral lands, ethnic, political, and religious bias, as well as the struggle for scarce resources, among others.
Community in urban area may be heterogeneous, while in the rural area they are homogeneous. And that is what we are dealing with. So there's elements of territory, the elements of people, the elements of some norms and interests binding them together.
The community is a need, a society where people know who are their neighbors. They report whatever they see to their traditional rulers. They have a lot of interactions. We still have to think about how members of the community will contribute, reporting and containing some of the things.
The experts say the management of security should be the collective responsibility of all citizens. This suggests that these recurring conflicts can be resolved through dialogue based on trust, value reorientation, the inclusion of all community groups in decision-making, and creating roles for citizens and traditional rulers, as well as purposeful leadership.
The laws are no longer obeyed, human rights are no longer obeyed, so the police have now been also alienated from the citizens. And the citizens, they saw the citizens, the loyalty is not to the government and not to the citizens. But when they now see, if people feel that they trust you, when you are loyal to them, you are there for their interests, protect their interests, to meet their security needs, they will trust you as confidence building. So the police had to reinvent itself by winning the hearts, the minds and hearts of the citizens for effective policing. The police are so far from the citizens.
The guest also added that parents and guardians must take responsibility to inculcate positive values at the family level. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
And that ends today's news. Good night and have a prosperous year.